Hello, Norway family. We're outside on this beautiful day. We're continuing our journey through the book of Genesis. So we've already covered Adam and Eve and Noah, and the next big person in the book of Genesis starts in chapter 12, because that's where we meet Abraham. Now, Abraham, if you remember, he's the one called by God to leave everything he knew and to start a whole new life and be the father of many nations of God's people. So in chapter 12, it starts with, "Now the Lord said to Abram, go from your country and your kindred and your father's house to the land that I will show you. I will make of you a great nation and will bless you." Now, this is going to go on for chapters where Abraham goes and not everything goes well for him. He's going to first go to Egypt, where he tries to pass his wife Sarah off as his sister because she's so pretty. So then they get boils and plagues and everything because Pharaoh sleeps with his wife. It's a whole nasty mess that we get into there. Again, because Abraham takes things into his own hands instead of following what God is going to put in front of him for him. So again, we go through more chapters. Finally, in chapter 15, Abraham's had enough and he starts to doubt God's promise. Is God really going to come through and make for me that better tomorrow that he asks for? Abraham says, "O Lord God, what will you give me? For I continue childless, and the heir of my house is Eliezer of Damascus." Abraham's had enough. He still can't trust that God's going to make this happen because it's taking a really long time. Can anyone relate to that? Having been stuck at home now for 2.5 months pretty much, even now we can go out a little bit, we're still pretty much stuck wondering what's going to happen in this in-between time. Eventually, God brings Abraham that assurance that he will literally have blood of his own blood that will inherit the God's promises, with the sign of the covenant or the promise that he makes with Abraham now in chapter 17. When Abram, at this point still, was 99 years old, God comes to him and changes his name to Abraham. And he changes Sarai's name to Sarah as a sign of this covenant. Eventually, they do get Isaac, their own son, in this old age, but that's still not going to happen until chapter 21. So again, Abraham's story, starting in one spot, leaving everything he knew through all these chapters, from chapter 12 to chapter 21 before he has his own child, reminds us sometimes things don't come as fast as what we want, but God's got a plan. Sometimes we just need to learn to trust it. So how will you trust God's plan today?